I definitely think Isabel's curve looks worse.
Other than to monitor it, I don't really want to go back to Dr. Camp anymore. I mean, I appreciate everything he's got to say, but I'm not interested in surgery. And that's always the direction, the energy of that clinic is all about surgery. But I don't want to go there anymore, okay? So this is our last visit.
Kody would never have taken Isabel for her surgery. I mean, your daughter is in actual pain, you heartless jerk. Honestly, it's like he's just an anti-science, self-righteous bully with zero empathy. It's mind-boggling. Here's the kicker, though. Kody's only anti-science when it involves his biological kids. Dayton needed cosmetic surgery, and suddenly Kody is all in, supporting him and even going with Robin for the procedure. But when it comes to Isabel, who's in excruciating pain, Kody tells her to essentially deal with it. From day one, Kody's been a deadbeat dad to the original kids, watching the way he's neglected and abandoned them, all while showering Robin's kids with attention, is beyond heartbreaking. Honestly, I'd be shocked if any of the 13 want anything to do with him. He doesn't deserve their time or affection. And Gwen's face through all of this, pure gold. It's like she can't even believe what she's hearing. And honestly, I don't blame her. The arrogance is just off the charts. Kody's such an egotistical jerk. I once treated a teenage patient who had surgery for a similar condition. 4 weeks later, she came back practically glowing, telling me, "My back doesn't hurt anymore." That smile was life-changing. I know my life improved after my hip replacement. So yeah, Kody's a complete asshat for not even considering what his daughter's going through. It's like he's telling her, "I don't care about your pain, your ability to move, or your future. Just suck it up and stop complaining." Kody Brown is a pathetic excuse for a parent. He's not just absent, he's downright malevolent. Now, let's talk about Dayton's eyelid surgery for a second. It's almost laughable to compare. I can't remember the episode, but you know what I'm talking about. Sure, there are some places out there pushing unnecessary surgeries, and I've personally been pressured by orthopedic specialists. But this is different. The clinic they went to offered hope to people in desperate situations. And let's be clear, Isabel's curvature is severe enough that surgery is the only option. She's in constant pain, losing her sense of worth, probably spiraling into depression if she isn't already. And to top it off, they're blaming her for not doing hours of stretching and weight exercises every day, as if that's the fix. This whole situation is just sickening. Kody's decisions are not just neglect, they're a textbook case of abuse. We've got so much to dive into today, so let's not waste any time. Let's jump straight into it. Hey everyone, what's up? It's Elena here, and welcome back to my channel Reality Nexus X. Kody's totally lying about not being attracted to Christine. Let's be real, she's clearly the most beautiful one, at least in my humble opinion. But here's the kicker. I honestly think he's used attraction and intimacy as control tactics. He's practically obsessed with dragging her down now. There's no comparison to the indifference he's shown toward Mary. Kody's meltdown over the end of his marriage with Christine, way more dramatic than when he split with Janelle. It's like he can't handle the fact that he couldn't control Christine, so now he's just throwing insults to try to break her. Anyone else seeing this? Or am I completely imagining things? Classic nice guy TM. Move, right? All sweet talk and compliments, like you're so beautiful, until he gets rejected. Then the narrative flips to, "I didn't even want a fat, ugly BCH like you. I was doing you a favor by marrying you in the first place." Charming. Now Kody's rewriting the entire history of his relationships with Janelle and Christine, claiming he was somehow doing them a favor by marrying them. Because, of course, he feels rejected and now wants to burn those bridges down. The guy is so angry, I can't take a word he says seriously anymore. Who knows what's real or just another one of his tantrums at this point? He's probably looking back through the lens of his current bitterness, but it's hard to buy any of it when he's so hell-bent on ignoring everyone else's perspective. It's maddening. And let's not forget Robin, who's been obviously jealous of Christine from day one. It's been all about Christine not accepting Robin, but we actually saw Christine trying to address her issues and build something with her. Meanwhile, Janelle didn't seem to care one way or the other. Yet somehow, Christine and her kids always get singled out as the problem in all this. If Robin had started out jealous of Christine, and come on, who wouldn't then? Kody's obvious favoritism toward Christine must have set her off. That whole portrait thing with Christine's family. Yeah, Robin didn't forget to make sure the original family was completely erased, only to replace them with her own. Just casually showing her jealousy without even trying to hide it. On top of all that, Kody's admitted that his ego is his biggest motivator, and let's not ignore the fact that Christine was polygamist royalty in his eyes. To him, she was the most attractive because of the image she projected for his ego. He loves using his wives' weaknesses against them. Christine's emotionally and physically driven. Cool, Kody's gonna twist that into she never cared about the family, and I was never attracted to her. Janelle's proud of her independence. Kody's gonna use that to his advantage, too. The guy has no moral integrity. He just knows where to throw the dagger to hurt the most. Has anyone noticed if Kody's usual trash talk about Garrison has been completely cut out this season? Over the past few seasons, we've had the pleasure of hearing Kody bash his OG kids, especially Gabe and Garrison. This season, however, he's been making some vague comments about all his kids and Maddie, but we haven't heard anything particularly juicy about Gabe or Garrison, I think. It's hard to believe he wasn't still running his mouth about them, especially after Logan's wedding. So, I can't help but wonder if production decided to edit all that out, likely because it would seem pretty insensitive now that Garrison has passed away. Has anyone else noticed this? Do you think it's possible? Yeah, it looks like they've totally edited Garrison out, along with Gabe and possibly a few others. We haven't seen much of them this season, right? It seems like they were all part of the same filming group, so cutting out Garrison meant cutting a bunch of scenes with the others too. Maybe some of them even decided they didn't want to be part of the show anymore. I think that's exactly what happened. Garrison, Gabe, Savannah, and Gwen were all around Flagstaff around this time, and they were the ones filming together in a lot of scenes. By removing Garrison, they probably had to cut a lot of the others too. But honestly, I think it's probably for the best. That said, while I know I'm totally wrong for this, I kinda wish they didn't gloss over how awful Kody's been. It feels like part of the fallout of these edits is making Kody look a lot better than he really is. And honestly, that's hard to wrap my head around. Edit, now that I'm thinking about it, nearly every confessional with Gabe included Garrison. So yeah, they probably had to cut those two. Which means, yes, they're likely making Kody look like less of a jerk. 100% they've removed anything Kody's said about those boys. It's definitely possible. I mean, it would be pretty upsetting for viewers to hear all of that now. To be completely honest, I'm sure it's been edited out, and honestly, I think it's for the best. But the unfortunate part is that it kinda ends up benefiting Kody, which really sucks. Robin kicking the dog just completely baffles me. I've watched the video, but I can barely believe what I'm seeing. Why on earth would she do something like that, especially knowing they were being filmed? Was this just normal behavior for her or the family? I can't understand why she feels so comfortable doing it. Is she afraid of dogs? What's going on? Just to clarify, I'm not defending her. I'm just trying to make sense of it. Someone else. I think it was a slip-up. She forgot the cameras were rolling. It was like her true colors came out. Another person. Yeah, I agree. I used to watch Sister Wives, but the more I learn about her, the more repulsive she becomes. Honestly, the only decent thing she did was help the original wives leave that Raymond Noodlehead, Kody. Someone else again. It was dark, right? She probably thought no one could see her. Honestly, though, I think it was just her instincts kicking in because she's a pretty evil person, cameras or not. Another reply, she's probably used to acting out and having Kody sweep it under the rug for her. I bet she doesn't even worry about the cameras anymore because she expects them to edit it in her favor. It's like that time on the RV trip when she started screaming and cussing after opening the door. Her mask completely slipped then. Someone else. Yeah, there's been more than one instance where she's kicked the dog. One time, it was in front of an RV while they were camping. And if I'm remembering right, her face showed pure malice when she did it. It was very much on purpose. Kody didn't skip Isabel's surgery because of coronavirus. He skipped it because of Christine. That's the whole story. Let's be real. Kody's a complete jerk for not being there for Isabel and using coronavirus as a lazy excuse. He didn't go because he's acting like a petulant child with Christine, and he figured throwing out the coronavirus card would cover for his selfishness. Every single wife and child of his should have made him go with Isabel. If it was one of his and Robin's kids, though, you know damn well there'd be no hesitation. Zero. And Hunter. He somehow managed to take a break from his studies to be there, but Kody couldn't manage that. Ha! Pathetic. Logan and Hunter are actually decent human beings, unlike their father. You can bet they see exactly what a mess Kody is, which is why they're always there for their siblings, no matter what mom they came from. It's honestly embarrassing that Kody knew deep down that skipping out was wrong, but still had the audacity to ask Isabel, "You're not going to become a bitter housewife because I didn't go, right?" His ego's bigger than his love for his own kids. He'll always be wrong for that. Honestly, he's just a trash husband and father. If it had been Robin or one of her kids, not only would Kody be there, but you'd probably see the entire family show up for dramatic support, cameras rolling. But for Isabel, nothing. And don't get me started on Robin, Mary, and Janelle. They get a big fat fail for not insisting Kody go to that surgery. They should have dropped everything to make it happen. The decision to skip Isabel's surgery. That's the final nail in the coffin for his marriage to Christine. And honestly, it's a major factor in how people view him now. He's a terrible father. A selfish, weak, self-centered jerk. When Janelle said in the tell-all that she stayed with Kody because he was a good father, that was just some desperate damage control that fell flat. Is Robin really that clueless about why the wives are leaving? I can't quite figure out how I feel about her. Most of my frustration is directed at Kody. I truly believe that even if Robin begged him to treat the other wives better, his narcissism would just mansplain why things have to be this way. Sure, she knows she's the favorite wife, but is it really her fault the family fell apart? Or is she so blind to how it went from bad to worse? I mean, Christine even said the family stopped doing the things they used to do. Stopped celebrating together as much after Robin joined. Part of me thinks Robin wanted a big happy family, the picture-perfect one she's always dreamed of. But the other part of me wonders if she's just playing everyone on TV, pretending to be the naive, innocent woman who had no idea what was really going on. She cries, saying she was fooled by the fantasy of the perfect family, and now claims she didn't know things were so bad. Really? I mean, if she were treated even half as badly as Mary, wouldn't she be miserable? Maybe she's just got blinders on because she gets everything she wants and more from Kody. Especially now, I'm sure he's working overtime to keep her happy. So, what do you think? Do you guys blame Robin and think she knew exactly what was going on? Or do you, like me, think Kody's the one who's really to blame? After all, he's the man of the house. It was his job to keep things fair and balanced. Here's the thing. It's Kody's choice to favor Robin. She knows this, and she does nothing to stop it. They're both responsible for this mess. When Kody started spending all his time with Robin, she should have kicked him out and demanded that he divide his time fairly. Instead, she just smiles and lets it happen, no complaints. Take that moment in season 1 when Robin pretends to go dress shopping with the wives, but had already picked out the dress with Kody. You can see how hurt Christine is, but Robin doesn't care. She coldly says she never felt any obligation to tell the wives the truth. If you go back and watch that scene, look at her face. It's like she's completely indifferent to the pain she's causing. I honestly think Robin manipulates the situation to create reasons why Kody needs her more than anyone else. First, it was the kids. They can't go more than 2 days without him. Then, it was Irila not sleeping. And after that, it was the coronavirus rules, which conveniently kept Kody from visiting anyone else because of Saul's RSV. There's always a reason, and Robin is always behind it, orchestrating it so that Kody spends more time with her. I think Robin wanted that big, blended family and to be treated like the head wife, the queen of the house. I think she wanted power, to rule over her little kingdom. And now she's grieving because she's lost that opportunity. So do we think Christine and Janelle actually knew the move to Flagstaff was all about Dayton? Because, shocker, there are 2 very plausible theories here. 1, Dayton was heading there for college, or 2, the balloon mortgage theory, which, let's be honest, sounds a lot less exciting than it probably is. Now, if you're on Team Dayton, do you honestly think Christine and Janelle were in the dark about this? I can't picture them willingly making their kids miserable just for the sake of another adult child. It's more likely they were either manipulated or felt pressured, especially since Robin had clearly locked down her position as the head wife by then. I mean, come on, it's hard to believe they willingly went along with it. But hey, what do I know? Honestly, I think the tension around Robin after the move wasn't just Christine and Janelle catching on. Many of the older kids were probably figuring it out too. I mean, let's be real, it wasn't exactly subtle. Even Gwen seemed to confirm that the real reason for the move was Dayton, and surprise, surprise, it all circles back to Robin. Poor kids, I can't help but feel bad for them. And then there's Kody. Oh, Kody. He tried to pull his usual smoke and mirrors act, taking Christine, Mary, and possibly Janelle on those private Flagstaff trips, making promises of renewed intimacy and affection. Because nothing says move your whole family to a new city like vague promises of more attention, right? I honestly think that's the only reason they went along with it. Who wouldn't fall for that? Now, as for the balloon mortgage theory, yeah, that's been debunked. But the one thing Gwen and Peyton actually agree on, the move was all about Dayton. Because, clearly, Robin couldn't bear the thought of letting her child live in a dorm and experience independence. So instead, she decided to yank everyone across the country to keep her overbearing grip on him. Makes perfect sense, doesn't it? Okay, let me just start by saying I love Christine. And I totally get where she was coming from at the time. So please, don't come for me. But honestly, her wanting to sell Coyote Pass and move back to Utah just because her family was there felt a little selfish. I mean, look at the rest of the family. Grody and Sabin were perfectly happy in Flagstaff, and let's not forget that Sabin's oldest, Dayan, was settled in university there. Janelle? She was actually into Flagstaff. Mary? Well, Mary just wanted to be wherever Grody was, though to be fair, she did admit she'd have preferred staying in Vegas. Even Christine's daughters said they were fine with Flagstaff and didn't want to uproot again. So yeah, Christine wanting to move back to Utah just because her family was there was kind of like Sabin wanting to move to Flagstaff just because Dayan got into college there. Both were a little self-centered. I'm not saying that moving to Flagstaff was a genius move in the first place. I honestly think the cul-de-sac in Vegas would have been the best setup for the Browns as a plural family, but it felt like Christine was being just as selfish in suggesting the move back to Utah. Sure, the Browns had talked about wanting to move to Utah back when they were still in Vegas, but that doesn't make Christine's later push any less about her wants. Now, hear me out. If you watch the season right before the Flagstaff move, Kody goes on and on about Utah. Robin even says she'd rather be in St. George than anywhere else, and they all talk about how they were considering land and houses there. At one point, they even said that if the law changed, they'd all be in Utah in a heartbeat. So Christine wasn't exactly off base. She was just shocked because, naturally, she thought that everyone would want the same thing, especially when the law was no longer a threat. But after the law changed, and let's be real, it wasn't even a real threat at that point, Christine was probably thinking, well, I gave this whole Flagstaff thing a shot, but we're living in a world where monogamy is the norm, and my dad's sick and needs me, plus my whole family is in Utah. So she probably saw it as her last chance to save her family and marriage, to get them back to their community, and give Kody the chance to be around men who lived the same lifestyle. After all, the Browns were in big trouble without that connection. And let's not forget, Kody wanted to move back to Utah too. I mean, that's part of the reason Christine felt comfortable bringing it up to the others. He had talked about it plenty. I don't remember which episode it was, but I could look it up. But I know he mentioned to Leon that he'd love to return to Utah if it weren't for the whole polygamy is illegal situation. Remember when he brought it up to Leon during the opening of Mary's B&B? Yeah, Leon didn't get it because Utah basically kicked her dad out. So really, Christine wasn't just pulling this out of thin air. She was playing her last card to save her family and herself. Let me know what you think in the comments. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to my channel. I'll see you in the next video. Take care and much love to you all.